Welcome to Rise and Recap. Immortals is a 2011 American epic fantasy action film. Inspired by Greek mythology, the story follows the mortal warrior Theseus as he is chosen by the gods to stop the ruthless King Hyperion from unleashing the imprisoned Titans and plunging the world into chaos. The movie begins with the brutal King Hyperion on a warpath to destroy the gods and release the imprisoned Titans, who were defeated and imprisoned by the gods eons ago. Before the dawn of man or beast, immortals waged war against each other in heaven. After their victory, the conquerors proclaimed themselves as gods, while those they defeated were labeled the Titans and sealed away beneath Mount Tartarus. During the war, a powerful weapon known as the Epirus Bow was lost on Earth. By 1228 BC, King Hyperion storms into a sacred monastery seeking the legendary Epirus Bow, a weapon of imaginable strength. When the devoted monk refuses to reveal its location, standing firm in faith and silence, Hyperion shows no mercy. In a horrifying act, he sets the monk ablaze, burning him alive before the terrified eyes of the others. In a quiet, sunlit moment early in Immortals, we find Theseus, chopping wood in his village. Beside him, an old man shares both humor and wisdom. He teases Theseus about finding a wife, nudging at the warrior's isolated nature. But the conversation takes a deeper turn as the old man begins teaching Theseus not just how to fight, but why to fight. To protect the innocent. To stand for something greater. In a nearby village, the residents begin preparations to escape to Mount Tartarus, hoping to evade the approaching army of Hyperion. When Theseus and her mother, as they try to escape their village, Theseus is forced to leave with the other peasants in the morning, while his mother stays behind for a time. During this moment, a soldier insults Theseus's mother, calling her a whore. This provokes Theseus, who, filled with rage, immediately confronts the soldier and prepares to fight. However, before the altercation escalates further, the soldier's commander intervenes, stopping the fight from progressing. Lysander, a loyal soldier, is given an order by his commander. His commander tells him that he is no longer needed in the caravan and must leave by morning, joining the peasants instead. Feeling betrayed and rejected, Lysander is enraged and decides to take matters into his own hands. Under the cover of night, he kills his two companions, soldiers who were once his allies. An old man, shrouded in mystery, senses their presence and commands, "Reveal yourself." The tension builds as Athena, goddess of wisdom, steps forward from the shadows. But just when the situation seems to take a quiet turn, the old man, who had been an enigma up to this point, suddenly reveals his true identity as Zeus, the king of the gods. As Lysander enters Hyperion's castle, he's confronted by a haunting sight, a massive metal bull crying out as fire engulfs it from below. It's a powerful visual, symbolizing the brutality and torment of Hyperion's reign. Lysander, desiring power and seeking to prove his loyalty, approaches King Hyperion. The king, seeing the betrayal as a way to further cement his control, marks Lysander with a harsh, symbolic gesture. Hyperion takes a mask made of metal thorns and presses it onto Lysander's face, scarring him forever. This mask becomes a symbol of Lysander's transformation, a visual representation of his commitment to Hyperion's dark cause. A powerful flashback scene where Theseus, as a young boy, is learning to control his emotions and harness his strength with the guidance of an old man. The man teaches him how to wield a wooden sword with precision, emphasizing the importance of rhythm and inner control. Something catches his attention: dead birds falling from the sky. His peaceful moment is shattered as he realizes his village is under attack. Rushing back to the village, Theseus witnesses the horrifying scene of King Hyperion's army slaughtering the villagers. In a desperate attempt to save her mother, he sees her sitting helplessly as soldiers prepare to kill her. Consumed by anger and fear, Theseus charges forward, using a spear to take down the soldiers in his path. Efforts are in vain as he is captured, and the devastating moment arrives. He watches in agony as King Hyperion personally kills his mother right before his eyes. This tragic event becomes a driving force in Theseus's quest for revenge against the tyrannical king. While this chaos unfolds on Earth, from Mount Olympus, the gods, including Zeus, watch these tragic events unfold. However, they are bound by a sacred law. They cannot interfere in mortal affairs unless the Titans are released. If they break this divine law, the punishment is death. Despite witnessing Hyperion's cruelty, the gods restrain themselves, trusting that Theseus must make his own choices and earn his destiny without divine intervention. After Theseus is captured by King Hyperion's forces, he and other prisoners are forced to carry heavy wooden logs through the desert as part of their punishment or slave labor. Among the prisoners are the virgin oracles, who have been taken by Hyperion because he wants to exploit their prophetic powers. As they trudge through the sand, Phaedra, the main oracle, accidentally touches Theseus' foot when she stumbles, and this triggers a sudden and powerful vision of the future. In it, she sees Theseus playing a major role in changing the course of events, possibly linked to the battle between gods and titans. Realizing that he is more important than he appears, she becomes convinced that she must help him escape. Phaedra and the others seize the opportunity to flee with Theseus. It marks a turning point where Theseus begins his transformation from a lowly villager to the hero destined to challenge Hyperion's tyrannical path. Determined to confront Hyperion, Theseus tries to seize a boat, but he and his companions are overpowered by Hyperion's troops. As this happens, Poseidon watches from above, observing the situation with concern. To help them, Poseidon plunges from Olympus into the sea, creating a massive tidal wave that destroys Hyperion's army. Later, Phaedra has another vision, this time of Theseus standing beside a covered corpse. She realizes that he must go back home to lay Aethra to rest. While laying Aethra to rest, Theseus discovers the Epirus Bow embedded in nearby rock. He frees the bow but is attacked by Hyperion's henchman, the Minotaur. Theseus kills Minotaur and uses the bow to save his allies from being executed. He emerges battered but victorious. Just as he escapes, he sees that King Hyperion's soldiers are about to execute his ally. From a distance, Theseus uses the magical Epirus Bow, a powerful divine weapon he had recently acquired, to shoot an arrow with incredible speed and precision. The shot kills the enemy soldier and saves his allies just in time. Phaedra tends to Theseus and later falls in love with him, stripping her of the visions she deemed a curse. The group returns to Phaedra's temple, while Hyperion and his forces are away at Mount Tartarus. Theseus and his allies arrive at what they believe is King Hyperion's stronghold, but they find it strangely deserted. Suddenly, a monk accompanying them hears a distant, agonizing scream. He rushes toward the source of the sound and discovers a horrifying sight. The metal bull, a brutal torture device, is roaring with the sound of someone screaming from inside. Realizing someone is trapped and suffering inside the burning metal beast, the monk desperately tries to move it, soon joined by Theseus and the others. As they struggle together to open or shift the bull, Phaedra is struck with a powerful vision. Her face freezes in horror. She sees the one suffering inside the bull, her sisters, dying in unbearable agony. During the attack, Theseus accidentally drops the bow, and it's taken by Hyperion's men. As Theseus struggles, Ares and Athena secretly intervene. Ares slaughters Hyperion's soldiers to protect Theseus, and Athena provides a horse so he can escape. However, when Zeus arrives, he's furious. According to the gods' law, they were forbidden from directly interfering in mortal affairs. Ares tries to defend himself, saying he only helped Theseus, but Zeus won't tolerate the disobedience. In an instant, Zeus strikes Ares down with a blast of fiery whip, killing him. Zeus then turns to Theseus, his anger barely restrained, and delivers a heavy command, "Prove me right," urging Theseus to fulfill his destiny without relying on the gods' intervention. The lost bow is brought to Hyperion. Theseus, Stavros, and Phaedra make their way to Mount Tartarus. Upon arrival, Theseus attempts to warn King Cassander of the Hellenics about Hyperion's intentions. However, Cassander dismisses his concerns, viewing talk of the gods as mere legend. and instead chooses to seek a peaceful resolution with Hyperion. The next day, Hyperion unleashes the power of the bow to obliterate the seemingly indestructible wall of Mount Tartarus, resulting in the death of Helios. In response, Theseus rallies the Hellenic army and leads them into battle against Hyperion's forces, successfully killing Lysander. While the battle rages, Hyperion bypasses the conflict, advances toward Mount Tartarus, and kills King Cassander. He then uses the bow once more to shatter the mountain's defenses and release the Titans, just moments before Stavros and Theseus can intervene. The force of the release knocks the mortals to the ground. Stavros retrieves the Epirus Bow and manages to kill one of the Titans, but is soon overwhelmed and killed by the others. At that moment, Zeus, Poseidon, Athena, Heracles, and Apollo descend to confront the Titans. Meanwhile, Theseus engages Hyperion in battle. During the fight, Zeus uses the warhammer of Ares to destroy the Epirus Bow. Although the gods initially demonstrate their superiority over the Titans, they are ultimately outnumbered, and all are slain except for Zeus and Poseidon. In the end, Zeus brings down Mount Tartarus and descends back to Olympus, carrying Athena's body with him. The collapsing mountain crushes Hyperion's army, bringing their end. Gravely injured, Theseus is taken to Olympus, where his heroic sacrifice earns him a place among the gods. Years pass, and the tale of Theseus becomes legend. Phaedra gives birth to their son, Acamas. One day, a mysterious old man approaches Acamas and tells him that he too is destined to battle against evil. As he listens, Acamas envisions a great war in the skies, where gods and titans clash, and among them, he sees Theseus fighting once more. If you like this kind of content, just hit the like and subscribe button for more future videos.